ठीक है।
What was the stage?
हाँ, इन लोग को देखिए क्या कर रहे हैं। थोड़ा थोड़ा खाली जगह। ओके, एक्सीलेंट कनेक्शन। We are like
Stage?
audio. Yeah, still follow मतलब पर audio स्टेज पे माइक पे बोल रहे हो तो रिकॉर्डिंग कर लेंगे तो ठीक है शुरू अभी नहीं बोल रहे हैं और शुरू बट हम सुनने से इट्स कंप्लीटली हाँ हाँ अच्छी बात है ऐसी वाली होनी चाहिए ना इवेंट आयु इंटरेक्शन करेंगे समय पॉइंट अभी पब्लिक स्टूडेंट बीच में म्यूट किया अभी आवाज नहीं आ रही आप ऐसा कुछ बोलना इसमें हेलो हेलो आवाज आ रही है चेक थोड़ा लो नहीं है सेंसिटिविटी क्या वहाँ की आवाज आएगी स्टेज की माइक पे बोलेंगे हाँ आई गेस पर मुझे पास आके बोलना पड़ता है अभी थोड़ा सेंसिटिविटी बढ़ा देना
उधर से रख के देखो, जैसे आपका अकाउंट चेंज कर दूँ, पता नहीं।
ट्राई कर लेते हैं। बट उनसे काम नहीं का
गेट हटा दो, ऐसे रख लो।
नहीं है ये यहाँ बीच में।
अच्छा, मैं यहाँ से देख सकती हूँ, मैं कैसे जाऊँ?
हमने कुछ
तो ये आ गया,
कर देती है।
सही रखना पड़ेगा।
दिस इज मच बेटर।
अब यहाँ पे कैसे रखेंगे? चेयर
टेबल जुगाड़ लेते हैं। क्योंकि नेट तो है अच्छा।
नेट है अच्छा आता है, लेकिन तो प्लेसमेंट वाला होता है। अब यहाँ पे टेबल कहाँ से है?
यहाँ से क्योंकि बहुत अच्छा आ रहा है, क्योंकि ऑडियंस भी आ रहा है, पीपीटी भी दिख रहा है, स्पीकर भी दिखेगा।
टूल कुछ नहीं है क्या?
एक सेकंड मैं करती हूँ। ज्यादा शेक फुटेज आ रही है।
हाँ वो पता है, अभी स्टेबल नहीं है यहाँ पे, मैं कोई लेकिन
इसके लिए दो चेयर से एक दूसरे
नहीं नहीं देखते हैं कुछ अरेंज हो गया,
ओके।
हो गया उधर। अच्छा शहर के भी तरफ लो, हाँ जाने आने का रास्ता भी। सॉरी 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 सॉरी, हटो हटो हटो। एक बार ऐसे कर यहाँ बोले
थोड़ा सा
ठीक है।
ऑडियंस इतनी
अरे ठीक है ना,
ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है ठीक है।
अभी तो लॉजिकल बात है।
स्टेज के बाद
Hi guys, am I audible all the way back? You guys confirm us? Good. Thank you all for being very patient with us. We are still expecting, I think there's 2 seats, but we won't be waiting for that. The place is entirely packed. Right? I think it's audible now. Thank you. So before we start, I'd like to ask you guys. I know it has already been asked, but first year's kitne log? No. Okay, good to see that. Second years, just as many. Okay, that's good. Okay, so good morning, everyone. I'm Akshat. I'm the lead here at MLSA. And before we proceed, I'd like to thank each and every one of you for being here because it's not every day that you're surrounded with such curious minds, right? So when I was in first year, about 3 years ago, I was on the other side. There was this guy on the stage telling me why I should join MLSA, the greatest thing. And I was sitting in those very seats. And I'm willing to bet, like most of you, I had registered with only few minutes left to spend. Right? There was only 2 to 3 minutes left before the deadline. I'm hurrying up my answers, writing in the essays, and I got in. Right? I got lucky. I got in, and I joined in as a design member. I was into UI UX. I am pretty sure you know UI UX what that is, and I'm sure there's many applicants for UI UX as well, right? So I joined in as a UI UX member, and I thought, why stop there, right? So I thought, why not explore each and every domain? So I got into video editing stuff. I made posts for the club. I think some people already asked you if you follow the page, right? So a year ago, all the posts that you see, I had made that and I had some people collaborate on that, right? And there's always this notion that, as of before I say that, how many of you are interested in creative domains, creative applications, like designing stuff, video editing, making posts, maybe content writing? Okay. I'm seeing hands slowly rise up, but I think there's about 40 people, 40% of people, right? Okay. So there's always, I'm sure you guys can relate, there's always this notion कि ये डिजाइन वाला टेक क्या ही कर लेगा, राइट? क्रिएटिव वाला टेक क्या ही कर लेगा. But at MLSA we don't believe in that, right? So for that exact reason, I thought of getting into tech as well, right? So I contributed to our website. There's always this notion. I made some AR filters. There's this XR domain. I'm sure there's some people that have registered for that, and got into game dev, created a game. I was lucky enough to start my own domain. There's CP and DSA, right? First years को maybe not पता हो, but second years know about this, right? You have this subject DSA. So I started that domain, hosted an event. I had 400 people joining up. Okay, so you might be wondering, why am I telling you this, right? And how there's always this element that going down the memory lane, so good, right? But more importantly, I'm telling you this because I want you to realize what you are capable of. I truly believe that every person in front of me, sitting in those seats, is capable of doing those very same things, if not more, right? So while we are a tech club, I'll say that I'll ensure that the growth you experience here, I truly believe, is going to be every person in front of me. There are people that lack in tech, is capable of doing. There are people that lack in communication, not more. Some people have stage fright, and that's okay. Why, right? Uh, I'm sure you experience those fears too, right? And you want to improve. That is why you came here today, right? So I'll just tell you this. I'll give you an example. Every person that's about to take the stage after me has experienced stage fright at some point of time, and they chose to not be afraid of that and work on that. Right? They had a choice. They could either sit down, be like, I'll leave the stage stuff to someone else. मेरे से नहीं होगा भाई. मेरे हाथ हिलने लगते हैं. I start losing it. I start speaking very fast. They could have done that, or they could have come on the stage,
started speaking, maybe lose it, sure. But you do that 2 times, you maybe do that 3 times, and you'll be better, at least better than when you start, right? That's a guarantee. You know it, right? So sure, you could stand there, think that yes, I'm introverted, maybe overwhelmed. But you could do that, or you could change, right? So that's what I'm talking about. That every person that's about to take the stage has had stage fear, and if they could improve on that, I am sure you can too. Okay. Now, so I really expect that you have something that attracts us, and you have that something that tells us this person deserves to be in the community, because there's something for everyone. We have creative domains, we have tech domains, and we have marketing domains. The opportunities are limitless, right? And we are entirely open to having new domains. If you feel that there is this niche technology, it's not really well represented, sure, join it, start your own domain, right? I felt that CP was underrepresented, so I started it. Okay. So I'll ask you guys, is there anyone here that felt like, okay, I really like this stuff, this tech stack, and it's not present. It's not in the options. There's web there, there's app there, there's cloud, but there's no X domain. Anyone feel like that? Any domain that you feel was left out? Just an honest question. Okay. 2 hands, that's great. Okay, let me know.
My name is Apul. I think that open source could be considered as a good domain because it has very vast opportunities to learn about to create good projects without being a part of any community, but as an open source contributor. Currently, I am not in any open source project. I am exploring the field. Yes, I'm exploring.
So as he said, open source, that's a very valid answer, right? And another hand was there, right? So I'll just read. Open source, great answer. Totally agree. And I'll probably think about it. And if that guy gets in, he'll be the one that starts the domain. And he gets to talk about it, right? And he hosted an event, made it possible. So that's the thing about MLSA, that you can make the change yourself. You don't have to wait on it for happening, right? Pass the mic to you. Yes.
I guess Flutter is quite under discovered or under discussed here. Yeah, it's in source, open source, so yeah, I would agree with that. So I would like people to know more about it and explore it more.
That's a valid answer. So Flutter is covered in app dev. We have app dev. So yes, that is. There might be a confusion. We are going to be merging web and app. So make that very clear. Okay. So it probably would be named applications development. But yes, those are very good answers. Open source and Flutter. Any more domains? Any suggestions? Okay, you have a suggestion.
Right. I'm also interested in game dev. I guess it's a domain that it's really niche in terms of how far India has ventured into it. And if you look at the size of the business, it's bigger than the moon franchise, because to the West. And I think it's a domain that we should look at in India because there are so many talented programmers and all. So I think we can make a market out of it over here at least. Right, I've explored Godot, and I've also, and right now I'm trying to do Unity and C Sharp because I was not familiar with C Sharp at first. I knew a little bit of Python, and GDScript was similar to Python. So right now I'm exploring Unity because I think it's the better engine for me in some terms. So I'm doing Unity right now.
So as you guys heard, this guy is in second year and he is into game dev, and he has done pretty much. He has done some stuff, right? He has started with Godot, and I had made that very game in Godot as well, right? So yeah, great library. What was your name? Okay. Great job, Swapnil. And really great answers as well. Any more suggestions? We had game dev, open source, and front end.
Research and development. Like generally like scientific applications using technology.
That is an interesting answer. How that would apply is up to this guy. He'll be explaining it to the board members at MLSA why we should have that domain. But yeah, I'm totally open to that. But interesting idea. So, any more? और कोई जो थोड़ा hesitant था, अब सोच रहे कि maybe उठा लेते हैं. Anyone? Okay. So yeah. So once again, while we are a tech club, I'll re-emphasize, we are about all-rounded growth. We want you to be better speakers. We want you to be better people. And we want you to work together, build teams, right? There's always this mentality, कि I'm a lone wolf, I get it done. जो भी करना है, I don't need a team. I get that mindset, but if you want to achieve something big, if you want to schedule an event, if you want to manage an event that is at a greater scale, you need a team. It's simple as that, right? So if you have also felt this, that you are unable to work with people, that is a bit worrying, right? Because हो तो तुम B.Tech student, right? Ultimately, सबको job करना है. Almost. As a startup founder, also you will be working with people, right? So definitely a skill that you need. People, working with people, right? Do you all agree? So, yeah, I think since most of you are first years, you might not have been in our events. That's okay. We've hosted events on game dev, on web dev. It's pretty common, and it's pretty interesting. We keep shifting, we keep rotating, so that it does not get very monotonous. Okay. And I want to tell you something that is really important to me, and I believe it is really important for you to listen as well. Back in first year, I had filled the forms for almost every club, right? At the moment, you might be experiencing that thing right now. कि भाई ऐसा के form आ गए, इसके form आ गए, उसके आ गए, and I have to fill up every form. Resume बनाना है भाई अभी, भाई resume भेज दे, project नहीं है, and that is okay because first year now. So back in first year, I applied for every tech club that is worth being in. काफी tech clubs हैं, but there are only a few that are worth being in, right? And I got into all of them. I was simultaneously in 8 clubs. Now, as it sounds, it's really hectic, right? You can't manage 8 clubs, not possible. Okay. So believe me when I say this, I made the best decision when I chose to lead this one. I want that to be very clear. It was the best decision I made to lead this one. Okay. So I won't be naming names. There are many clubs out there. And I want you to experience, I want you to choose. But for me, it's very important that I made the right decision. Okay. And in the end, I'd like to welcome all of you to Project Wing. I'm sure you have many questions. There were people DMing us on LinkedIn, found the numbers, website for the number, but numbers, Instagram page, and we like that enthusiasm. Good job. Right? We need people that ask questions, right? So I'm sure you have many questions about Project Wing. This was really about MLSA, why you should join if this aligns with you. Because Project Wing is recruitment, right? This is our way of recruiting people. We really need to make sure that people are a good fit. Okay. So who will be explaining to you what Project Wing is. And finally, I'd like to say that this is not really an opportunity to participate. It is your opportunity to shine. Give it your all, right? You'll be working with teams. You need to show us that you're capable of working with people and creating great stuff. Okay. So I'm really excited to see all the projects and ideas that are about to come out of Project Wing. And thank you all for coming today, and all the best to each and every one. Okay. Thank you.
Hello everyone. बोर तो नहीं हो रहे तुम लोग? अरे हाँ है ना? सुनाई नहीं आ रहा? Okay. So guys, please bear with me today because I'm down with cough and cold. Okay, so बीच में hiccups आ सकता है, but let's start with it. So I'm the current executive at MLSA KIIT chapter. So let me start. Now, as we seamlessly transition into the next phase of our gathering, for a formal speech of obviously, get ready to embark on a journey that holds the promise of even greater excitement and learning. It is with immense enthusiasm that we proudly present to you Project Wing 2025. So Project Wing is an accelerated technical initiative developed by MLSA KIIT 3 years ago. It's a unique opportunity for tech enthusiasts of KIIT to work on major projects that will make them stand out in the crowd. I hope that's your case. Anyways, building a greater world demands astounding steps in understanding the needs of society today, especially in a field like tech. Project Wing has always adapted to the needs of today. It has always been one of a kind, and no doubt it will remain exactly that in the future. From making sophisticated projects done in the hottest domains makes the creator special to connecting everyone with a diverse community of developers. MLSA KIIT will do everything in its power to make Project Wing unforgettable. Project Wing gives you the opportunity in and outside of MLSA in KIIT to work in distinctive projects with extensive industrial value. Along with an outstanding addition to their resumes, the students will be able to connect personally with student developers from KIIT and the members of MLSA as well. So coming on to important points. So I hope everyone's listening right now. The duration of this venture will be 1 month's tenure and will be consisting of 6 projects over different domains. I'm certain there are hundreds of other events which help you in building projects, but these factors which I tell you, they are especially unique to MLSA's project. Okay. This event will assist the student in teamwork and handling communication with the project teammates. When discussing challenging topics in a group setting, students frequently struggle to articulate their viewpoint. So guys, how many of you are interested in building your own startup? क्या वो अभी से गिव अप कर रहे तुम लोग? अच्छा, what about you? Startup नहीं बनाना आगे जाके? क्या करना है फिर? थोड़ा लाउड. अभी फिगर आउट नहीं किया. कितने लोग यहाँ पे फिगर आउट नहीं किया अभी क्या करना है? अच्छा, कितने लोग ऐसे जो इंजीनियरिंग के लिए आए थे बट यू डोंट वांट टू डू यू डोंट वांट टू परस्यू इन कंप्यूटर साइंस फर्दर ऑन कि भाई फोटोग्राफर बनना है, पापा मैं बहुत मेहनत करूंगा आगे जाके. अच्छा, लेट्स कंटिन्यू. Through Project Wing, you get an opportunity to meet new people. It serves as a platform for networking with people who are professionals in the industry, have mutual interests, and have the potential to form important connections. For all you know, you could find a co-founder of a startup while working on the project. Guys, here's a pro. Anyways, this event will teach you how to effectively and properly handle your own tasks through time management. You will get a better understanding on how to prioritize, plan, and execute on your tasks. The most exciting part of the event is that you get a chance to work with MLSA under the guidance of the project leads of MLSA and get hands-on experience. अब तक किसी को कुछ भी डाउट है? ज़्यादा फॉर्मल तो नहीं हो रहा? पक्का? Okay. So let's come on to the main part. अच्छा, what do you guys think? अभी क्या रह गया? तुम लोग क्यों आए हो आज यहाँ पे? अरे बताओ. Recruitment. अच्छा, how many of you have for recruitment? Okay, तो जो लोग हाथ खड़े नहीं किए, please note कर लें, कोई recruit नहीं करेगा. That's okay, guys. Chill. So let me discuss about recruitment now. So recruitment is our way of extending the invitation to actively participating candidates in projects. We are recruiting in multiple domains of tech, creative, and marketing, which my fellow mates will be discussing later on. So let's come on to the main part, that is Project Wing X Recruitment Drive 2025. Okay, so these are very important points. Third years, you're going to be a part of Project Wing only. You can come and you can participate in Project Wing, but we'll not be recruiting third years this time. Secondly, for second years, you will be recruited to Project Wing only. So it is not like that you can come directly to MLSA. It is mandatory for all of you to be a part of Project Wing, work on a project, then you get to be a member of MLSA. And for the first years, you have a choice whether you fill a direct application for recruitment or be a part of Project Wing and then be a part of a team. Does anyone have any doubts right now? Is everyone clear? Not audible? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes or no? Okay, great. So the bigger question mark is why Project X recruitment? Why are we collaborating these two? Okay, so you see, it's not just about the skills, it's about the sense of belonging. Participants, you gain skills, yes, but you also become a part of the larger community. We at MLSA believe in quality over quantity. If you have skills that matches with that needs. Sorry, we go on. Anyways, we need you. But if you think that you're not capable enough to show your dedication, consistency, and enthusiasm, we surely need you. So you all must be knowing that a typical recruitment in any community goes like registration form, resume screening, interview, and the final results. Coffee boring or lengthy process, right? You guys might want to skip that. But what if you're rejected? And what if you're going home with? What are you going home with? Nothing? किसी को कुछ learning ही मिलती इस चीज से? क्या? Experience और? Accept rejection. किसने रिजेक्ट किया भाई मुझे? मतलब बता देना चलो इसके बाद. और कुछ? Experience, rejection, networking. Anyone else? क्या? Teamwork. बस और कुछ नहीं.
Feedback
Feedback about what?
about how to improve, about what to improve on,
About what?
to improve on.
To improve on. That's right. What were you saying? Constructive criticism. That's right. But I'll tell you what happens. Here at MLSA, you get an opportunity to work on a project with dynamic team under exceptional leaders, and you can experience the work culture here at MLSA, regardless of your selection. In addition to this, you can become a team player and boost up your skills in every aspect. So enough of technical talks. What about people who are interested in creative or marketing domain? कितने यहाँ पे creative और marketing के लिए हैं? बस. Come on guys, I need to see more hands. और कितने लोग tech के लिए हैं? Let's go. चलो, moving on. So now I would like to hand over to all the leads of respective domain to carry out the orientation further and introduce you to different projects under different domains. Okay. अब थोड़ा informal talks पे आ जाएं. कितने लोग यहाँ पे एक्चुअली हो कि नहीं प्रोजेक्ट में अंदर काम नहीं करना सिर्फ रिक्रूटमेंट पे आना है. आइडिया कैसा लगता है सबको? गाइस रिस्पॉन्सेस नहीं सिर्फ रिक्रूटमेंट में आना है. अरे बोलो भाई. प्रोजेक्ट करना है. अच्छा तुम लोग कोई प्रोजेक्ट रेडिस लेके आए हो? कुछ आइडिया किसी को भी यहाँ पे क्या डिस्कस करना है? Okay. So what happens is हम लोग every year we conduct projecting and हम लोग का different domains में different projects होते हैं. What we do is before coming to you guys, we have a list of numerous projects. Every domain pitches in their own projects and then we have a meeting and then we collaboratively decide which projects to work upon. So what do you guys think? कि इस बार क्या projects है? कुछ भी idea है? कोई भी अपने domain का एक बार बताओ. Starting with web. What's the most famous project? या फिर most favorable project? Amazon clone. भाई वो तो first year में LinkedIn में सब डालते हैं. You have to be different. हाँ? Airtime video call. Close. कोई guess कर सकता है हमारा project क्या है web के लिए? The guy said airtime video call. Sorry? Zoom clone. अच्छा और कोई ideas? अभी तो बोला वो video call. अच्छा साइबर के लोग कितने यहाँ पे? ओके आई सी द स्टैट्स टुडे. अच्छा हैकर बनोगे? ethical hacker. अच्छा what do you guys have an idea in your mind for project? क्या सोचो क्या करेंगे हम लोग यहाँ पे? Currently और बाकी लोग साइबर के? अच्छा you say firewalls. And what about the rest? बोलो guys. आप देखते के लिए कितने लोग हैं यहाँ पे? Raise your hands. सिर्फ एक इसको रिक्रूट कर लो डायरेक्टली. और कोई नहीं है? चलो. तो is everyone clear on the point कि क्या हम लोग का रिक्रूटिंग प्रोसेस रहने वाला है and how we going to recruit people? किसी को कुछ भी डाउट है इस बारे में? No one? Okay. एक मिनट.
Guys, just an important announcement. आपके जितने भी दोस्त हैं that might come up थोड़ा late. We don't have any spots left, unfortunately, but there's important information that's going to be broadcasted. So we'll be live streaming it, okay? And there's the link on our Instagram story. So if you have friends that wanted to come here but are not present, maybe for a reason or absent, that's perfectly fine. Just send them that link. That link is on the Instagram story. Okay.
Hello everyone. घर से कितने लोग हैं? बस और होने चाहिए. Come on. Web app. So कोई अपना introduction देना चाहेगा? What tech stack they use? Anyone? Come on. We're not going to judge. Anyone? भाई interviews में कैसे करोगे सर? Come on. Nice. That's the spirit. So hello, my name is Rahul. Currently, I'm learning JavaScript and moving towards TypeScript. I'm not very much because I'm currently in learning phase, so I'm exploring every field and web dev is interesting for me because I've seen many projects and pages of many projects other people, and I see that they were very interesting, good projects. So I like the idea, and I have to make anyone in my own and different from others. So that's why I chose web dev because I think it suits for me, and as a creative mind, I can implement many ideas in it. Great job, guys.
Hello everybody. So sub, of course, I hope mostly tech oriented लोग आए होंगे. But tech में कौन से domain में सबसे ज़्यादा? I guess web. Apart from web, what domains do we have? Like AI में काफी okay, ML में okay. What else? Anybody who actually come from the for the non-tech side, creative content, okay. I'll come to you. Would you like to answer why you chose? Like why is that?
Because I'm not good at tech.
You also want to get the experience working in the non-tech. Okay, very good. Anybody else wants to answer? Yeah, sure.
Along with tech, I have an knack for creativity. So I'm basically used to work for content writing in my school, and I got experience with those. So I would like to experience and explore it more because basically everyone here is for tech, and I would like to integrate.
Okay, so very nice of you. So in MLSA, we have a very cooperative team. Even if you are in the non-tech side, we allow you to work for the tech as well. If you want to learn, even if you're in the non-tech, you don't have an experience, we give you the environment where you can actually work with the tech people. They are they're very cooperative, they'll guide you, and you'll really have a nice time. और बाकी भैया ने तो सारा बता दिया ठीक है tech and all, but the team is also very nice. You'll have a lot of fun. धीरे धीरे of course अभी तो first year में हो, तो थोड़ा अपने बैच से ही दोस्ती होगी, but gradually when you be a part of our team, you will realize कि it is worth it.
Hi everyone, I'm Yashwardhan Singh. We are the tech leads at MLSA KIIT chapter. And let me just tell you, MLSA KIIT chapter comprises of 6 technical domains primarily. The first domain which will be application development. It's a domain which comprises both of app and web developers. The second domain which is machine learning. And I would say software has a point to say.
Yeah, so machine learning, and here we create our own generative LLMs and we play with generative AI.
So we have also access to different types of LMs and stable diffusion models. So you can always create your own images on the go. Right.
And the following domains are cloud and cyber, where cybersecurity, cloud deployments, and we have UI UX also under the technical domains. So in the past few years, we have built multiple projects and with the previous versions of Project Wing as well as Heart of Fest. So who of you have attended Heart of Fest as of now? And just we have a quick list of hands. Anyone heard about Heart of Fest or attended a previous event?
Okay, there's 3 in the back.
I can see a few hands in the back. So have you worked on any projects as of now? Any open source projects? Any experience working with GitHub? Any experience working with any open source projects? Does anyone want to give an example?
Okay, so basically in open source, I have been in GSOC and I'm contributing to that. So there are different organizations you can actually contribute. You can commit the changes. You can go to the repos and whichever files you feel, the tech stacks you feel familiar with, you can contribute and you can actually you can communicate with the mentors and the maintainers. So you can gain more knowledge about what the whole project is and you get a good view of like whole tech world. First.
So which project are you contributing to?
Right now, I'm searching for the organizations. Like right now, I'm like interested in Apache. Like that's a good software. Like organizations, and I'm interested in projects, but I'm searching more. Like
Yeah, that's nice. Like most people in your area don't know about GSOC, but I would say if you are going into open source contributions, GSOC, and if you can contribute to the GSOC projects, it's a really good boost to your resume. Right.
Anyone else who would like to give an example? Okay. So starting with the previous project of ours, Algorina. Algorina, if you might not have heard, it was basically a web dev project where we built our own version like we had a mini project wing, and it was mainly for educational purposes. So we built our own platform to upskill developers and just somewhat similar to like Geeks for Geeks and Take You Forward. So I mean, you must have heard about Take You Forward by Striver. And the second project was about Echo Mail. It was a mass query prototype, which we built using AWS services.
In cyber, we had RACnet, which basically crawled the web, and you could access the different vulnerabilities which could be exploited. Right. So for exposing them and researching about them, we had RACnet, and then we had for ML project stable diffusion LoRa, which is basically us compressing the stable diffusion model so that it could be used in a smaller GPU VRAM. Right. Okay, so now.
I would like to hand over this mic to our next speaker.
Adarsh, Vijayani, and Vaibhav.
Adarsh and Vijayani. So Adarsh Vijayani and Adarsh Weber will be speaking about web and application domain. And so what will be the project which we'll be having this year and the project wing. So the name of the project and what are the details, how do you contribute, everything will be discussed in detail. As you can see, there are multiple first-time contributors, so it's not a thing to fear about. In fact, I also started a few years back. In fact, I was in like 12th grade of the first year, and I was just getting started in the project wing and all the open source projects. So I think this is the ground where should you really start. And don't think that there will be some kind of judgment or you might not be able to complete. Project Wing is not about the goal of completion, it's about the journey. So just trust the process, build awesome projects with your peers. You will have a great interaction with the people you are working with. You will have great guidance from us. We are currently in our third years, so we will be guiding you throughout the project. And we will also have your mentors, you have your project leads, which will be introducing about the project itself for respective domains. So Adarsh and Vijayani and Vaibhav, you can have the mic.
Hello, everybody. I am Adarsh Upadhyay from the web team, and I hope everyone is just as excited as I am for Project Wing. So, usually you might have seen, we usually have different projects for web and app. But with the advent of so many cross-platform frameworks like React Native, Flutter, the line between web and app gets blurrier and blurrier. So this year, we have decided to have a combined project for web and app. But let's not get ahead of ourselves, okay? You might already be aware of the current situation in China with the HMPV virus and also called Corona Season 2. Man, thinking about that really gave me PTSD. Lockdowns were quite a tough time, but they were also a lot of fun to be. I would like to ask you guys, what do you think was the best part about lockdown? Anyone? Yes, please.
Chatting with friends, like I got a lot of free time to do that stuff.
Chatting with friends. That's a great answer. Anyone else? Come on. Masti to sab ki hai. Come on. Anyone?
We call.
Okay, that's fine. If you ask me, it has to be the online classes. Because on one hand, you are attending the classes, getting free attendance, and on the other window, you can just grind Valorant. Up attention. How many Valorant players? Come on. Don't lie. Sab khelte hain. Come on. Okay. Unexpected, but fine. Also, please don't ask me about my rank. Right. So, with the advent of another lockdown possibly coming soon, hopefully not, we decided the best project to build would be our own online meeting platform. So if you ever wondered how these online meeting platforms ruin your day, not only will you learn how to do it, you will build one yourself from scratch. Does that sound interesting? Are you guys excited? What do you say? Does that not sound interesting? Imagine putting that on your CV. You built a Google Meet clone. And not even a clone, probably better. What do you say? Introducing Weave. Well, it's going to be a cross-platform, both web and app meeting platform built using WebRTC. So the question is, what is WebRTC? Right. So WebRTC stands for Web Real-Time Communication. It's like online phone call, one-to-one, live. You can, but also you can stream videos, text, messages, whatever you want, or audio, and that is peer-to-peer, directly. No middlemen, no delays. Sounds pretty cool. But there's one important concept that you must know about: NAT, Network Address Translation. How many of you think you have a strict parent? Strict parents. Well, you guys might be able to relate to this better in that case. Because Nat is like a strict parent, very overprotective. It's like, I'm pretty sure you guys have nicknames at home, Raja, Babu, Sona, right? Yeah. So Nat does something similar. All the devices that are connected to it, Nat gives them a nickname. It's quite overprotective. It's like, oh, if you want to talk to your friend, you must go through me first. Right? With the added condition that your friend must know your nickname. So you might be able to see a problem here. Let's say you want to have some fun, everyone likes to party. You want to have a good party, and you and your friend have strict parents. What now? How will you talk to your friends? So this is where one of the other components comes in. Sun servers. You don't know your friend's nickname, he doesn't know yours. What now? That's where Sun server comes in. They're kind of like third wheels, bringing cute couples together. So what it does is it snitches on your NAT. If you ask it, it will tell you your nickname. Now you can easily tell that to your friend, hey, my nickname is this. You can tell my parents, and we can talk. And we do that through something we call signaling server. But let's not get into that. So we have Sun servers. But there's another problem. If you thought your parents were strict, let me introduce you to symmetric NAT, the bar of all strict parents. So not only do your friend needs to know your nickname, but for every friend, you get a new nickname. So if you're talking to friend A, you might have a different nickname. If you're talking to friend B, you might have a different nickname. So even if you take the help of stun servers, it's of no use. It's only valid for the stun server. If you tell that nickname to your friend A, that will not work. It's not acceptable. So what now? We are stuck again. Well, then comes another hero, your chill elder cousin, stun servers. It's like, okay, bro, you got strict parents. My parents are pretty chill. That's fine. I will help you out. You tell me what you want to tell your friend, and I will pass the message to him on your behalf. And that's what pretty much stun server does. Also, one more thing. Stun servers are sounds pretty complicated, right? But it's pretty easy, trust me. So easy, in fact, that Google provides it for free, completely free, no charges. That is quite rare occurrence if you ask me. Every time you have to Google one, you got to buy premium, but it's for free. It must be pretty easy. Right. There's one more concept that we must learn about. ICE candidates. So now you're trying to meet with your friend. You must, make a list of all the places you will go, where you want to meet with them. Maybe Campus 17, maybe Burger King, Starbucks, behind the MBA garden. You guys might be more versed in this than me. So you want to go to a place where your strict parents will not catch you, or maybe the teachers or friends. So in that case, you make a list of all the places you are able to go, and your friend does the same, all the places he's able to go. Some places might be too far, So you make a list and you give it to the other person, exchange it with other person. Then you can match, whichever place is fine. And this concept in WebRTC world, we call as ICE candidates. Sounds pretty chill, pretty cool, fun, totally intended. So yeah, we ICE candidates just list of ways you can connect with your friend. And I think that's pretty much covers all. That's WebRTC for you in a nutshell. Now, before moving to the technical side of things, I'm just going to say this. It's going to be new. You're going to see a lot of new technology. And I want to make it very clear. Project Wing is not a competition. You're here to learn. And if there's nothing new to learn, what's the point? I would definitely recommend, if you get worried, don't be. We'll be there to guide you in every step of the way. With that, I'd like to call my friend Babo to talk about the technical side of things. Thank you all.
Hello. Okay, so now I will explain what is an SFP and the tech stacks we will be using for project. Now, before understanding SFP, we must first understand what are the different ways of architecture we are using to connect different people in a video call. The first one is peer-to-peer. In this architecture, two clients are connected directly to each other. It is the most simplest way to establish a connection between two clients. In this architecture, the clients first connect to each other and sends their video and audio streams between each of them. Okay, so this architecture is very difficult to scale as this architecture is very difficult to scale as the number of people increases. There forms a mesh-like structure. So all the clients will be sending the media streams to each of them, and it will be very difficult to scale. It will also increase the bandwidth. The latency, although the latency will be very less, but the bandwidth on each of the devices will be very good. So next we have an MCU server. In MCU server, there is a central server where all the clients are connected to the central server. The server receives all the video and audio streams from the clients, and it mixes all of them into a single stream. And then it forwards that stream to all the clients present in the video call. So the issue with MCU is there is a lot of processing going on in the backend server. So we need to scale the backend server. But since there is a lot of processing going on in the backend server, it's very costly. We need a beefy machine to have a backend server that can do a lot of processing work. So MCU is very difficult to scale and it will be very costly. There's also issue of higher latency. Since the video streams are first getting mixed into a single stream and then it is transmitting back to all the clients, there will also be a higher latency in the video streams. Now let's talk about what is an SFU. Why is it different from all these other architectures, and why do all the large scale applications like Google Meet or FS Teams use it? So SFU or selectively forwarding unit is a concept which is a combination of both P2P and MCU. It takes all the best practices from all those architecture and works upon them. So what is an SFU? SFU or selectively forwarding unit is a central server where all the clients connect to the central server and all the clients will be sending the video and audio stream to the central server. But here the server will be selectively forwarding the streams of the clients according to requirements of the other clients. So how does it work? Let's take an example. Here we have 4 clients, client A, B, C, and D, and all of them are connected to a central server. Now let's say client A only wants to receive the video streams of B and C. So it can ask the central server like, hey, can you please send me the streams of B and C? So now the central server, now the SFU will be sending all the streams of B and C only to A. Look, now let's say client D has a very bad internet connection. KP7 ये है कोई यहाँ पे वहां पे कैसा इंटरनेट कनेक्शन रहता है तुम लोगों को पता ही होगा तो समझो कि क्लाइंट जो है वो KP7 का है ठीक है बेकार इंटरनेट कनेक्शन है तो अगर उसको ये वीडियो मीटिंग अटेंड करना है तो वो क्या करेगा सर्वर को बोलेगा कि भाई मेरा इंटरनेट बहुत बेकार है प्लीज मुझे बाकी लोगों को ऑडियो दे दो मुझे वीडियो नहीं चाहिए तो सेंट्रल सर्वर क्या करेगा वो बस ऑडियो फॉरवर्ड कर देगा हम लोग के क्लाइंट डी को ठीक है तो इसमें क्या होता है तो इसमें क्या होता है कि एसएफयू जो है बहुत सारे एमसीयू और पी2पी से बहुत बेटर है कैसे इसके एडवांटेजेस बहुत है इसमें लेटेंसी बहुत कम रहता है क्योंकि एमसीयू में क्या होता है कि एक सेंट्रल सर्वर पहले मिक्स करता है सारे वीडियो स्ट्रीम्स को और फिर फॉरवर्ड करता है यहाँ पे क्या होगा कि जो सेंट्रल सर्वर है वो सीधा फॉरवर्ड करेगा सारे स्ट्रीम्स को मिक्सिंग नहीं करेगा डिकोडिंग नहीं करेगा एनकोडिंग नहीं करेगा सीधा फॉरवर्ड करेगा सारे स्ट्रीम्स को यहाँ लेटेंसी बहुत कम रहेगा फिर है कि एसएफयू जो है बहुत इजी टू स्केल है हम लोग को अगर एसएफयू स्केल करना है तो हम लोग और बहुत सारा जो भी अपना सर्वर उसको रेप्लिकेट कर सकते हैं बहुत सारे सर्वर डाल सकते हैं सारे सर्वर से सारे क्लाइंट कनेक्टेड रहेंगे वो लोग एक दूसरे को फॉरवर्ड करेंगे सारे ठीक है एसएफयू में अपना लेटेंसी जो रहेगा वो बहुत कम रहेगा क्योंकि कुछ स्ट्रीमिंग वगैरह नहीं होगा मतलब कुछ भी मिक्सिंग वगैरह नहीं होगी ठीक है now moving on to the tech stack we will be using in our project since we are making the SFU from ourselves from scratch we will be optimizing on the backend performance part the most. We will be using Bun as a JavaScript runtime. It is a faster alternative to Node.js. It also supports TypeScript variable. TypeScript आता है ना सबको? आता है? आता है? नहीं आता सीख जाओ बहुत आसान है. We will also be using Mono.js as a backend framework. Express आता है ना सबको? Express तो आता ही होगा. Monstack, Express वगैरह सब आता ही है. ठीक है? Mono वैसा ही है, Express जैसा ही. We will also be using socket for WebSocket connection. WebSocket भी आता ही होगा सब लोगों को नहीं आता कोई बात नहीं हम लोग सारे रिसोर्सेज देंगे तुम लोग सीख जाओ. Also, for storing user and meeting data, we will be using a relational database called PostgreSQL. We will be using Drizzle as our ORM or query builder. अच्छा mongoose यूज किया ना लोग यहाँ पे कौन किया आप लोग 1 2 3 4 हाँ बहुत किया ठीक है तो जैसे mongoose काम करता है वैसे Drizzle काम करता है तुम लोगों को इनबिल्ट फंक्शन दे देगा कॉल करने के लिए अपना जो भी तुम लोग स्कीमा डिफाइन करो ठीक है एंड टू मेक अ बैकएंड इजी टू सेटअप एंड डिप्लॉय वी विल बी containerizing it using docker and we will also be deploying it to our DigitalOcean account ठीक है क्लाउड के बारे में पता है सबको पता है for recording video and meeting audio meeting recordings we will be using a service called Cloudinary ये basically S3 का alternate S3 क्या होता है कि फाइल स्टोरेज सर्वर होता है वहां पे तुम लोग फाइल्स अपलोड कर सकते हो जैसे डेटा स्टोर करने के लिए डेटाबेस होता है वैसे अगर फाइल्स अपलोड करना फाइल्स वीडियो मीडिया तो तुम लोग क्लाउडीनरी यूज कर सकते हो ठीक है now coming on to the front end stack we will be using Next.js as a front end framework the UI will be done by Tailwind CSS and for authentication we will be using Auth.js now that's all from my side if you guys have any question regarding SFU और the tech stack we'll be using. अगर कुछ भी डाउट है कि टाइपस्क्रिप्ट नहीं आता, फन नहीं आता, कुछ भी डाउट है अभी पूछ सकते हो. सबको आ गया क्या समझ में? Okay, now I would like to call upon Vijay to talk more about the app part of our project.
Heads down.
हाँ पर हाँ नोट.js का नॉलेज है ना, जावास्क्रिप्ट आता है, बेसिक जावा आता है. हाँ तो बेसिक जावा जैसे होता है जावास्क्रिप्ट भी वैसा ही रहता है, उतना कुछ डिफरेंस है. ऑब्जेक्ट क्लासेस हर जगह रहते हैं, तो हम लोग भी इसमें क्लासेस ही वगैरह यूज करें. और जावास्क्रिप्ट टाइपस्क्रिप्ट बेसिकली सेम ही है, बस टाइप्स का अंतर रहता है. तो हम लोग रिसोर्सेज तुम लोग को देंगे कि कैसे करना है, कैसे क्या करना है, बन का भी रिसोर्स देंगे, डेटाबेस का भी रिसोर्स, सब चीज का रिसोर्स हम लोग प्रोवाइड करेंगे. और हम लोग भी प्रोजेक्ट बनाते रहेंगे तुम लोग के साथ, हम लोग गाइड करते रहेंगे कैसे करना है.
Hello guys. Excited हो?
हाँ बोलो.
Guys showing that the servers and all that is and MLSA. These are this part of the cybersecurity. Uh, cybersecurity में भी तो networking का बहुत encryption decrypt मतलब वो नहीं है. ऐसे भी मतलब उतना encryption नहीं रहता कि मतलब टेक्स्ट स्ट्रीमिंग जा रहा है तो वो बैंक मतलब बोलते हैं encrypt नहीं करता क्योंकि सर्वर पे सारे लोगों का डेटा आ रहा है एट द सेम साइमल्टेनियसली. So isn't it the part of cybersecurity? Cybersecurity हम लोग ये भी सीखा है because I have a great interest in this networking domain. So if I am interested in this networking servers and all this, so do you have to all attend with it? I just because मैंने cybersecurity में किया था और AML में किया था.
Hi guys. Before I dive in, let me ask you something. How many of you are interested in exploring app development? Nice. I see a few hands. How many of you are already into app development? Good. So, mobile phones apps सब use करते हैं. We all spend most of our time on our phones. But app developers इतने कम. Let's face it, web developers तो हर जगह है, but app developers there, right? So whether it's a quick video call, checking something important, or just scrolling through an app, mobile is where most of the time we spend. But see, इतने कम app developers. Let's take an example. You are out somewhere with your friends or just chilling at home and you need to make a video call. What do? You grab your phone, open the app, and see you are connected on a video call. Or maybe you are out somewhere at a cafe and you have a great view in front of you and you want to share it with someone. Just one tap, guys, and you are on video call. Apps make it that simple, easy, and convenient. So, our app is already exactly based on this, making video calls convenient and easy for the users
so that they can connect kabhi bhi, kahin bhi, without any hassle. Let's discuss about the tech stacks. जितने यहाँ पे ऐप डेवलपर्स हैं, कौन से टेक स्टैक से ऐप बिल्ड कर रहे हो? Tech stack. Flutter, Kotlin. Okay. So we are going to build our app on Flutter. Flutter पता है किसी को? Okay. Flutter is a modern framework that helps us build stunning and high performance app for Androids as well as other platforms, making it from a single code base. For state management, we'll be using Riverpod. Riverpod is a library which allows us to manage all the tasks of the app. Like, imagine it as a smart organizer for the app so that app can perform efficiently and reliably even during video calls. So, अब कितने लोग excited है to be a part of this combined web and app project? हाथ उठाओ. Cool. So, you guys can connect with us to build something impactful, and obviously साथ में काम करोगे, you will get to learn something. There are high good tech skills you will get to learn, and connections तो सबको ही चाहिए. So I hope many of you will come to build something impactful like this. So thank you. Now I'll call.
Guys, interesting is like a project. So imagine you go to an interview and you show this. You made your own Google Meet clone. And you are working under Microsoft MLSA. Imagine the impact you will have on the interview. Well, I don't think I should use that, but you can realize that, right? Come on, are you still not excited? How many of you can I expect to see? Come on, raise your hands. More. I need more. Come on. Yeah, now that's the spirit. Okay, thank you.
Now let's call ML team to discuss their project. Weban, Yash and Soham will come.
Hello everyone, I am Yes from the ML team, and I'm very excited to announce our project WatchTube to you all. Now, WatchTube is a very powerful tool that can generate YouTube-like videos with just few lines of prompts. At the backend, it uses LLMs for script generation, stable diffusion models for image generation, TTS or text-to-speech models for audio generation, and a very powerful assembly line engine that assembles all these different components to deliver the final outcome. Now, our project name is based on multi-agent systems. Now, you may be wondering what multi-agent systems is. Well, it's nothing but a group of different AI agents working together as a team to deliver the final output. Now, our project mainly uses three different kinds of agents, one for script generation, one for audio generation, and one for image generation. Now, to get into the details of the project, I would like to call Soham here.
Let's understand how our ForceTube pipeline is going to work. Well, firstly, we have different AI agents for each purpose and each aspect of creating a full formatted YouTube video, right? So let's dive into the components one by one. So firstly, we have LLMs. So can somebody from the audience tell me what an LLM is used for? Right. So text data, right? So it's very simple. We are going to create three different LLM agents. Now, why are we creating three different LLM agents? It's pretty simple.
So we want to create an elaborate script, and the script should be, what do you say, like natural. It should be sounding like a YouTube video, right? And if you want to create a video that people will actually watch, it shouldn't be sounding like that, right? So that is why we have created three different LLM agents. So the first agent's responsibility is to create the baseline content of the script. The second LLM's purpose is to create and enhance that script and further make it like more human and natural sounding, incorporate certain tones or emotions inside the script, right? And finally, we have one more LLM. Now, what this LLM is going to do is going to segment the script into different parts. So obviously, the video will be covered in different aspects, right? For example, a person wants to make a video on time travel, right? So there will be various different topics that we would like to talk about in the video. For each different part of that video, we'd like to show something to the user that the user can actually see. And for this, we would need to create some sort of images. And for this very purpose, we are going to use another LLM agent whose only purpose is to create prompts to serve to a diffusion model, which is going to then go ahead and create the images for our YouTube video. Right? So once we have our images for the diffusion model, we are going to perform something which we call in-context generation. So what is in-context generation? Well, basically, suppose your diffusion model creates a character with the first prompt. Right? And a character looks a certain way. And in the next prompt, the diffusion model goes ahead and creates a character that looks like somebody else. Obviously, that would not fit for a YouTube video, right? So for that purpose, we would have to incorporate something that we call as in-context generation, which we'll dive into once we start the project. Right. So finally, we have our script for the video, and we also have the image that we want to show for that particular YouTube video, right? But we are missing one key core component. Okay, so there's one component that's missing. Can anybody point out what like we're missing in the video pipeline right now? Nobody has any idea? Yes. Yeah, who raised their hands, please?
I guess it's a generative AI part where they're going to generate images so that the video is.
Yeah, but we're handling that with stable diffusion, right? So what is the aspect that we are still missing in the pipeline? We have the script, we have the images, you're still missing something. Huh? Video? Yeah.
It's audio.
Right. Absolutely right. Simple, right? We are missing the audio from the video. So we are going to use something for audio as well. So have any of you heard of TTS? It's a popular library, our text to speech. So we are going to use the TTS library from Hugging Face. It has a variety of features that we can use with it. Lots of emotions and lots of things that can be incorporated into the voice to make it sound more human-like. So that is the library we are going to use for the audio part. So now we have all three key components of the video. Now we are going to incorporate another aspect into our pipeline, and that is called retrieval augmented generation. So anybody has heard of this term before? What is RAG? Retrieval augmented generation. Okay, yeah.
So it uses a database to like collect information for a particular domain.
Right. So how can we?
I need to think of.
Okay. Anybody else has any ideas? How? Why or even like why do we want to use retrieval augmented generation? He said that it's a database that stores information, right? What are we going to do with that additional information? Why do we need it? It's very simple. Come on, it's not a technical question. Anybody would like to try? Yes. Relevant data is like. Right. Relevant data. Okay, so the concept is very simple. Right? The user wants to make the video in a very certain way. He has certain aspects, certain characters that he can incorporate into that video. Suppose he wants to create a huge storyline, right? Like with multiple characters, multiple different events, multiple aspects. So in that case, we can't just give it some prompt, given a prompt and expect it to create a fully detailed, what do you say, script for that, right? It can make mistakes in that. That is why we have retrieval augmented generation incorporated into our pipeline. Now there are various different types of retrieval augmented generation. So we are most likely going to use a knowledge graph format. So a knowledge graph is basically you all of you know are familiar with the graph data structure, right? So it's basically a graph that connects different concepts or different knowledges with each other. For example, like there could be a particular character and he could have a particular relationship with another character, and so on and so forth. And they could be connected to a certain event, something like that, right? So now let's walk through our entire pipeline. Okay, we discussed script generation, we discussed image generation, we discussed audio generation, and we discussed how we're going to use retrieval augmented generation to connect everything and make sure that the storyline is coherent within the YouTube video. Right. So now let's walk through our pipeline. Okay. So the user gives an input, it goes over to a context planning LLM. This LLM creates the baseline script for our YouTube video. Next up, we also incorporate style guidelines into this first initial script. It enhances the script, gives it a more human tone, incorporates some emotions, storylines, etc., which could be missing from the initial generation. Then we segment the script, we pass it over to our script segmentation LLM, and finally we create two different parts of it. So firstly, the visual script and the audio script. So once we have both of these scripts, we create individual prompts for each chunk of that script data, right? And each of those chunks has a particular prompt that the script segmentation LLM generates for it. And these prompts are passed over to the diffusion model. And the diffusion model creates corresponding images for combining all of these images together. Okay. Now, finally, we have all three components. We need the audio, so we send it over to the text-to-speech engine. And finally, we assemble all of this using a video assembly engine, which we are going to code from scratch in Python, right? So let's look at a few applications of ForgeTube, right? So the first application is obviously creating content on YouTube. But is there anything like beyond that, is something more practical that you feel could be done with an application like ForgeTube? Would anyone like to try? Anything other than creating just basic YouTube videos? Absolutely, yes. We can generate educational content. It can be a very easy method to generate factual and even highly technical educational content using knowledge that a normal user may not have. Any other applications? Yes. Creating reels. Yeah, that falls under content, right? You can do that. That falls under YouTube. Anything else? Okay, so we can also, for example, a marketing team of a company, okay, they can also use it to create videos and demonstrations for their projects, right? They can give the product, what do you say, image of the product and the context to the diffusion model. They would take that image and generate more images of the product. It would create like a, what do you say, a demonstration for that project, showcasing the project in different ways and discussing details about the project. That could be use case. It can be also used by, say, corporates to create demonstration videos for training their employees, so on and so forth. There are lots of applications that can be there for this ForgeTube. And so there are a few other aspects, technical aspects that we would like to cover. Firstly, in context generation. This is one of the challenging aspects that we are looking to tackle with this project. That is how to maintain context across various image generations in a stable diffusion pipeline. Secondly, we are looking at LLM fine-tuning. That is how we can enhance the LLM and enable it to further generate scripts that sound more like YouTube videos, right? So we will have to look into that. We are obviously implementing retrieval augmented generation, as we discussed before. And finally, we are also using style transfer techniques. So style transfer technique is basically for maintaining a cohesive style across the various images that it generates, right? So the images should look the same as well. They should not deviate from how the first image is created and the second image is created in a different way. It should not be like that. The images should be cohesive. All right. So that was all from my side. So I hope you all are excited to work on this project. This is a very rewarding and a very ambitious project. And we are looking forward to see your participation in this. So how many of you are interested? How many of you are interested to work on this project? Okay, I see a lot of raise of hands. So how many of you feel that this project is going to be hard for you? Like, anybody feel this is hard for you? Okay. Why do you feel it's hard?
Especially that engine part, I still can't figure out how you will like put like context in place and use that to connect these audio video and yeah, I mean just what you just said right now, agree with it, and especially that I have no background here and practice on it.
So how are we going to handle the video assembly engine? It's very simple. So we have an audio file, right, that is generated from the script. So the audio file has a certain length, okay, and we take this length, we create this audio file based on the original script, and the script was originally also segmented by one of our LLMs, if you remember. So we created a segment for in between the scripts, and each segment has an image for it, okay, and each of these segments also has a certain audio length. So just for that particular audio length, we are going to showcase the respective image that is generated with the stable diffusion model. That is how the video assembly engine is going to work at a very basic level. Okay. And secondly, if you don't have a background in ML, I would say that this is one of the easiest projects that you can work on because it doesn't necessarily require you to learn tech stacks like PyTorch and such, right? It can be done with somebody who just knows the basics of Python also. Obviously, there are more complicated aspects like these over here, which we are looking to tackle. The baseline of the project is very simple for anybody. Okay, who wants to like work on something like this. It's very simple for a beginner to get into, and we'll be guiding you through the entire project. So you don't have to worry about that. We'll be providing you the resources and everything that you will require to dive into working with us on this project. All right, so we look forward to your participation. See you all in the interviews. It will be happening next week. All right, thank you. Now I'll pass the mic over to the augmented reality domain.
Hi everyone, we are from the XR domain, and you might have heard about XR, right? It stands for extended reality. So you might have seen Iron Man movie, right? He interacts with these holograms, or you might have played Pokemon Go, in which Pikachu spawns into your bedroom. That's nothing but extended reality. Under extended reality, we interact with the extended realities of our world. Yeah, so XR comprises of three technologies, AR, VR, and MR. AR stands for augmented reality. So it's about bringing 3D digital objects to the real world. Like you might not believe, but the first AR was all created in the 1960s. So uh, the next is VR. VR stands for virtual reality. Imagine putting on a headset and finding yourself on Mars, or between a lightsaber duel. That stands for virtual reality. You are immersing yourself into a truly digital world. So next is mixed reality. You might have used that Apple Vision Pro, right? सब लोगों ने सुना ही होगा कि Apple Vision Pro क्या है. And HoloLens के बारे में भी सुना होगा. तो जो HoloLens है वो actually Microsoft का एक VR mixed reality setup आता है जो NASA use करती है कि वो spacecraft बना पाए. या MR they are actually using it for building spacecraft. So basically MR कुछ नहीं है. It is like AR only, but you are interacting with digital elements in the real world overlay. So this is a 3D design that we have created in the domain of XR. So जो भी design में interested हो, like use Blender या 3D animations बनाते हो, we have also a subcategory of 3D design under us. So जिसमें हम 3D designs बनाते हैं under Blender. So we have discussed XR in coordinating. So जो भी interested हो, like to join us, can be part of this domain. So now Archie will be explaining you more in-depth overview of the projects that we'll be building under Omnify.
Hi everyone. So I will be explaining the stage one of our project. So for the stage one, we would be using Needle and Unity.
to create a web-based AR experience. And what do you mean by web-based AR experience is that you get to scan the QR code or the image, and your portfolio comes right behind yourself. So you have heard of AR-based business cards and AR-based QR. These are used using this image recognition technique. And for the platform, it is hosted on web. And इसके लिए कोई prerequisite नहीं है. You just need to know about Unity. And अगर भी तुम्हें Unity के बारे में थोड़ा भी पता है, you can come and join the stage 1 of our project. For the stage 2, things get a bit interesting because we would be using AR to detect your face and recognize, and it tracks your face just like filters work. So इधर Snapchat कौन use करता है? Can I have a quick raise hands? कोई streak maintain नहीं करता इधर? No one. Cool. But यही है कि तुम जो filters use करते हो, ये इसी technology पे depend करता है. So जितने भी filters तुम use करते हो for clicking pictures, these are used by using Unity. तो हम इस project पे filters से भी कुछ ज़्यादा nuance और something cool बनाने वाले हैं. तो जितने भी लोग interested हो, वो stage 2 पे काम कर सकते हैं. All right, here's the design part. Design is quite interesting. And तुम लोगों ने Tron and Ready Player One जैसी movies देखी होंगी, उसकी graphics भी बहुत better होती है, and it is very digitalized. And इसके लिए we are providing you 3 like parts. So even if तुम beginner हो, intermediate हो, and advanced हो, you can join us. For the beginner part, we would be providing you everything. We would be providing you tutorial, and you will start from scratch. You will export 3D models into industry level formats like .glb and .gltf format, and उसी हिसाब से evaluation होगी, and it's quite beginner friendly. Everybody can do it. For the intermediate part, you will be given 3 clips, animation clips, and you're required to pick one. And तुमने जो pick किया है उसके हिसाब से तुम्हें एक 15 second की animation बनानी है, and at a resolution of 1080p at 24 frames per second. And for the third part, this is the advanced part. मतलब जो भी बहुत advanced है, उनको बहुत पता है, they can create anything they want, and they would render their own original render to create something interesting. Any kind of digital experience or digital universe, again within a 15 second of time reference, with 1080p resolution and 24 frames per second. And यही है 3D design का part. And ऐसा नहीं कि तुम very experienced होने चाहिए tech या design में. Even if तुम little bit curious हो and you want to join our project Ognify, we are here to welcome you. And हम तुम्हें हर moment पे support करेंगे. And that's it from us. Thank you. I would love to answer any question if there's anything. Yeah, thank you. And now I would like to invite Vishesh, who would talk about the cyber project. Thank you.
Hello. Okay, so guys, मजा आ रहा है? I heard इस बार साइबर का कुछ डिमांड है, बहुत लोग आए हैं. कितने हैं एक बार हाथ उठाना? जो genuinely साइबर में interested है. Okay, so see, cyber is a thing कि it's not all about offense, okay? It is more about defense. So creating a tool which is offensive and defensive both at the same time is very difficult. So we have created a project today. I won't disclose it right now. I would show you something. I would like to show you something here. अभी देखो तुम लोग डैशबोर्ड करके यहाँ पे recent request ये सब है, ध्यान मत दो अभी, ठीक है? अभी बस देखते रहो, यहाँ पे कुछ चेंजेस होंगे. अभी हम लोग दूसरा एक खोल रहे हैं वेब पेज. ये क्या है? सबको रिकॉग्नाइज करते हो? सर पोर्टल, ओके, दैट्स इंटरेस्टिंग. सोचो तुम एक कॉलेज से गए हो,
और एक दिन अपना ऐसे ही चेक कर रहे हो, लॉग इन कर रहे हो. Isn't it scary अगर मुझे तुम्हारा सैप पोर्टल का लॉगिन एक्सेस मिल जाए, पासवर्ड, यूजर, सब कुछ. अब लॉगिन करके दिखाओ. हम लोग यहाँ पे नॉर्मल यूजर अपना आईडी डालेंगे जो रोल नंबर होता है और अपना सैप पासवर्ड डालेंगे. देखो ऐसे देख के लग रहा है कुछ भी फिशी है. क्या बोलो बोलो. एग्जैक्टली exactly. और ये हमारा लोकली होस्टेड है, इसीलिए हम लोग ऑब्वियसली एक्चुअल सैप पोर्टल में शो नहीं कर सकते फॉर ऑब्वियस रीजन. बट यू गेट द पॉइंट. ओके, यहाँ से लॉग इन किया, देखना उधर डैशबोर्ड में. ओके तो यहाँ नीचे कुछ दिख रहा है रिक्वेस्ट वाले में. देखो सबसे पहले पोस्ट रिक्वेस्ट गया, वो सब ठीक है. नीचे आ जाओगे तो यूजर नेम करके कुछ दिख रहा है. यूजर नेम, पासवर्ड. अब सोचे कितना स्कैरी अगर हम लोग को पता चल जाएगा, या फिर हम लोग तो छोड़ो, अगर किसी का मेलिशियस इंटेंट है, तुम्हारे सैप पोर्टल में लॉगिन करके टीचर को पता नहीं क्या क्या भेज दिया, अगले दिन टीचर बुला रहा है, तो अपना तुम्हारा हो जाएगा. Okay, let's get on with our project today. Okay, so before I reveal our project, I would like to be us on the same page. Okay, यहाँ सबको पता है वेब कैसे काम करता है? कोई बताना चाहेगा? वॉलंटियर कर लो, प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. Anyone? Okay, so usually in web there is a client and there is a server, right? Client request भेजता है, server will respond accordingly. But okay, before I do that, क्या मैं आपको एक इमेज दिखाना चाहता हूँ जो कि वेरी डिटेल्ड इमेज है. मैंने वेब टीम के साथ इन कोलैबोरेशन मिलकर बनाया, 2-3 घंटे लगे. ओके, सो लेट्स सी द इमेज नाउ. कैसा लगा? हंस क्यों रहे यार? 2 घंटे तो आदमी बनाने में लगे हैं. पहली बार में डॉगी लग रहा था वो. ओके सो देखो, पहले इमेज, पहले वो ब्राउजर में कुछ भी डालता है यूआरएल, दैट्स योर पर्सनल थिंग, मैं पूछने नहीं जाऊंगा क्या डाल रहे हो. ओके, यहाँ पे एचटीटीपी पे रिक्वेस्ट गया, वेब सर्वर ने अपना काम किया. इट इज जनरेटिंग रिस्पांस अकॉर्डिंगली एंड इट इज सेंडिंग बैक टू द ब्राउजर, और वहां पे आपको डिस्प्ले हो गया. ओके, so this is generally how web works. Okay, so अब क्या हमारा ये है कि सारे वेब रिक्वेस्ट का सेम होते हैं? Are all web requests same? Like जब when you are gaming and when you are browsing Instagram, are the requests same in both cases? No. Would you like to tell why? Okay, so मैं बता दे रहा हूँ. देखो, there are various different types of web requests. Everybody knows about HTTP and HTTPS, right? But there are other types of web requests, जैसे कि FTP हो गया, which is used while you downloading your files. SMTP हो गया, which is used when you are sending email. POP and IMAP when you are retrieving an email, and web developers का तो favorite है WebSocket, right? Okay, so हमारे scope में HTTP and HTTPS ही है. So do you guys know what a sample HTTP request looks like? कभी देखा है खुद से? Okay, so let's see a sample HTTP request. See, 4 main part होते हैं. First is method, path, version, and various headers. Okay, मैं हट जाता हूँ. हाँ देखो, HTTP methods are of various type. Get हो गया. Then there is post, put, delete, and others. हर किसी का अपना काम है. You can configure them in backend. And then there is path. आप वेबसाइट में कहाँ जा रहे हो exactly? Path defines that HTTP version 1.1 है, 1.0 है, and headers define the various parameters of the request, like host कौन है, या फिर other आप जो भेज रहे हो, जैसे कि हमने कुछ पहले दिखाया था, अगर यूजर नेम पासवर्ड भेजा था, तो that is also an header. Okay, so next. So how does this actually work? मतलब कि HTTP request हो गया, लेकिन मैं उसको view कैसे कर सकता हूँ?
Maybe with proxy server?
प्रॉक्सी ये क्या? मुझे तो एक प्रॉक्सी पता है जो सबको ही लगाते हैं यहाँ पे.
हाँ, प्रॉक्सी अटेंडेंस तो मैंने भी ट्राई किया है. यहाँ पे कितने लोग प्रॉक्सी अटेंडेंस ट्राई किए अपने फ्रेंड्स के देने का क्लास में?
सबको सब पता है, ठीक है? After all, we are cyber team.
Of course, of course. So now that you know how web browser interacts with the web server, right? So web browser sends requests to the web server, and then web server responds back with the web server responds back to the browser. Okay. So now, what if I place a proxy right in the middle of the journey? You see? So what would happen if there is a proxy comes in the middle? The request that will be sent by our browser will first hit our proxy, right? The requests are going to first to the proxy server, and then the requests are being forwarded by our proxy server to the web server. Okay, and the same with the response. Response comes back to the proxy server first, and then the response are being forwarded to the browser. All right, ये सबको समझ में आ गया? Okay, so proxy server just works as a middleman. तो एक एग्जांपल ले लेते हैं. होटल में तो एक रेस्टोरेंट में सब लोग खाना खाने जाते होंगे ना, तो ऐसा तो नहीं होता है कि हम लोग गए खाना खाने एंड मेनू में जो है चूज किया खाना खाने का एंड किचन में डायरेक्ट शेफ को बोल रहे हैं कि हमें ये खाना खाना है. देयर इज अ वेटर, राइट? सो वेटर का काम जो होता है एकदम प्रॉक्सी सर्वर जैसे होता है. जैसे वेटर आपका रिक्वेस्ट लेता है एंड देन फॉरवर्ड करता है किचन में, इन द सेम वे प्रॉक्सी सर्वर आपके रिक्वेस्ट लेता है एंड उसको वेब सर्वर को रिक्वेस्ट को फॉरवर्ड करता है एंड सेम वे रिस्पॉन्स भी आता है. ऑलराइट, how many of you guys got this point? Yeah, that's good, that's good. So now you know like how proxy works. Can anybody tell me one application of proxy server? VPN. Like there is a small difference between proxy server and VPN. It's not exactly the same. So VPN में क्या होता है कि उसमें टनल टाइप का बन जाता है जब कनेक्शन होता है, बट प्रॉक्सी सर्वर में क्या होता है उसको हम लोग मिडिल में रख देते हैं रिक्वेस्ट एंड रिस्पॉन्स में. So it's not exactly same, but क्या VPN जो है सिक्योरिटी में जो है प्रॉक्सी यूज कर सकते हैं. Anybody else? Okay, well, yeah, that also proxy can be used there. Yes, anybody wants to respond back? चिल्ला के बोल दो. Yeah.
रिक्वेस्ट ब्लॉक हो जाए तो मतलब पहले हेडर फाइल चेंजेस तो इसको बाईपास करने के लिए प्रॉक्सी.
Okay, so header files change करने के लिए होता है. Very good, very good. अब मेरे को कोई बता सकता है कि लाइक यहाँ पे कितने लोग बैठ के ad blocker यूज करते हो? How many of you guys use ad blocker?
किसी को यहाँ पे YouTube प्रीमियम देने का मन नहीं है.
So ad blocker so maximum people use करते होंगे. So our proxy server also works as an ad blocker. So what happens exactly is that when our browser sends request to our proxy server and then it is being forwarded to the web server. Okay. So now when web server responds back with a website, suppose say wikipedia.com, and there are ad packets also. Okay. So it is containing ad packets as well as data packets. And a proxy server क्या करेगा कि हमारे ad packets को block कर देगा. Okay. So ad packets are blocked and you are now getting your website without any ads. Isn't that great? So that is the feature of proxy server.
So अभी तक तुम लोगों को पता लग गया होगा हम लोग बनाने क्या वाले हैं. किसी को कोई आइडिया हम लोग बना क्या रहे हैं?
Any guesses?
एड ब्लॉकर बना रहे हैं. ओके, कोई और? एड ब्लॉक डिटेक्शन टूल. नो. ओके, चलो. ओके,
We are probably making something like Bob soon.
Exactly. हम लोग एक प्रॉक्सी टूल बना रहे हैं. ओके.
Okay, so our project name is REST.
Capture, rewrite, intercept, send proxy. It is a lightweight proxy tool made purely in Python, and it functions to capture requests, reads them, and writes them. Okay.
So अभी हम लोग features को जान लिए proxy server का. Then there are a lot more features too of proxy server. Then the first feature that we can add to a proxy server is capture HTTP and HTTP requests in real time. So what happens is that HTTP requests are totally plain text. Okay, so the request and response are coming in totally plain text. You can easily capture that. But what about HTTPS? Those are encrypted messages, right? Our proxy server will be able to capture those and you'll be able to see encrypted messages too. And that too also with consent only, okay? And the next feature will be rewrite them according to your own will. So suppose there is an online website, shopping online website site, and there is a vulnerability in that online shopping site. And what I want to do is I want to buy a product of around, say, 1,000 rupees. So I send a request that I want to buy a product of 1,000 rupees. and the request is then sent to a proxy server. Okay. So then what happens is I'm able to modify that 1,000 rupees to 5,000 rupees, and then that request is being forwarded to web server. So अब मैं 1,000 rupees का product 500 में खरीद ली. Isn't that great? So we will be able to rewrite the request as well as responses in our proxy server. Okay. And the next feature will be send the new crafted request to get desired result. So that is the modification feature of our proxy server, modifying the request as well as the responses. And the next feature that we might add is tracking history logs. So what happens is that our proxy server will be able to load the websites quite faster. So how does that happen actually? How does proxy server can make our browser run faster? So what is happening that our proxy server is loading, like storing all the data packets of the request as well as responses. So the next time you click a website again, the proxy server will directly load those data packets to your browser, and you'll be able to fastly see the website again. Isn't that great? So that's about features.
Okay, so moving on to the tech stack, हम लोग libraries क्या क्या use करेंगे? For the main proxy server, we are using Python और उसके साथ हम लोग SQLite use कर रहे हैं for storing of requests. इसके साथ हम लोग SSL library भी use कर रहे हैं for HTTPS functions. Then there is our dashboard. Okay, उसमें हमारा trio use हो रहा है HTML, CSS, JavaScript. फिर उसके साथ हो गया हमारा backend application जो कि Flask पे चल रहा है. Okay, clear? Now for my fellow nerds जो कि बोलते हैं नहीं भैया बताओ डेप्थ में क्या ही चल रहा है, तो उसके साथ हमारे डेटा फ्लो डायग्राम है. अगर देख लो क्लाइंट ने रिक्वेस्ट भेजा, वो पहले डेटाबेस में जाएगा, अब उसके बाद डेटाबेस से डैशबोर्ड सर्वर में गया, वहां पे अगर आपको चेंजेस करने हैं रिक्वेस्ट में तो आप कर सकते हो. अगर आपने सबमिट कर दिया डैशबोर्ड से, वापस जाएगा, फिर तो सर्वर में चला जाएगा, सर्वर से रिस्पॉन्स जनरेट होगा, वापस रिस्पॉन्स आएगा, डेटाबेस में जाएगा और एक कॉपी क्लाइंट के पास भी चला जाएगा, ताकि आपको ब्राउजर में तो दिखे ही दिखे, प्लस आपको यहाँ पे डैशबोर्ड में भी दिख जाए क्या रिस्पॉन्स आया है. ओके, सो अच्छा लगा सबको प्रोजेक्ट?
How many of you guys are interested in building this? Wow, nice. That's great.
Quite a lot more पहले से. Okay, that's a good sign, right?
How many of you guys knows Python program? Like किसी को पहले से आता हो? Wow.
अगर नहीं भी आता सीख जाओगे, वो इंग्लिश ही है
Exactly.
और कुछ नहीं है. Okay, so any more questions from us? Like,
This process server, how it's different from the other web servers? Like, yeah, it's directly same copy of data packet will be stored in the dashboard also. So isn't it off color?
Okay, got your question. So you are saying how is it different from others, right? Yes. See, तुम जैसे थर्ड पार्टी टूल्स का बोल रहे हो, वर्कसूट हो गया सबसे फेमस है. इट इज वेरी हैवी, राइट? और उसमें भी प्रॉक्सी चल ही रहा है, बट इट इज नॉट मेड फॉर लाइट वेट कंप्यूटर्स. लाइक अगर सोचो तुम्हें रास्पबेरी पाई पे कुछ करना है, तो यू आर नॉट गोइंग टू रन फुल वर्कसूट, राइट? ये वाला सिंस पाइथन ने बनाया और वेरी लाइट वेट है, यू कैन इजीली कस्टमाइज इट. आप इसको ऐसे डिफेंस भी कर सकते, जैसे कि अगर वेब डेवलपर है तो वो देखना चाहते हैं कि मेरा रिक्वेस्ट एक्चुअली जा कैसे रहा है, तो वो देख सकता है. या फिर अगर कोई मैलिशियस हैकर है तो वो वेब रिक्वेस्ट में जो हेडर्स है उनको चेंज कर सकता है. दैट इज द थिंग, एंड इट इज वेरी इजीली कस्टमाइजेबल एंड फ्लेक्सिबल, इसीलिए हमने बिल्ड किया है. एनी मोर क्वेश्चंस?
Okay, everyone, we'll see you in the interviews then. Okay, thank you.
Presenting Atul and Soumik.
Yes. Hi. Now.
Hello everyone, I am Soumik Sutradhar from the Cloud Domain, and it is with immense pleasure that I introduce you to the cloud project of this year's project wing, that is Legendary. What is Legendary? What is the first thing that comes to your mind when you hear the word Legendary? What is the first thing that comes to your mind? Anybody like to take a shot? No? Well, why do we use ledgers? We use ledgers for tracking our findings. But we use them for tracking our expenses.
So that's what Ledgerly is exactly about. Ledgerly is a cloud-based expense tracker that is designed to simplify expense management, right? So it basically automates the entire process of extracting data from receipts, and it manages that data very efficiently. So the entire process can be subdivided into 5 very simple components, right? So the first step is to upload the user receipts. Users will start by uploading images of the receipts through a very intuitive interface. Um, Once these images have been uploaded, they are transferred to an Amazon S3 bucket, which is basically a flat file storage service, right? The second step is to detect for new uploads. Our system constantly monitors for new uploads, and once an upload is detected, an automated workflow is triggered, right? So the third step is to extract information from these receipts. Now, our system uses optical character recognition or OCR technology that is powered by AWS Lambda and a highly advanced AI model that is called Gemini 1.5 Flash Vision. And these two tools work together in unison to accurately extract data from the receipts. Okay? So the next step is to store and categorize these expenses. Now, once all the information has been extracted, the data is stored in a database called the AWS RDS Postgres. So through this, all the data is automatically tagged and categorized so the users can easily understand and manage the finances. Okay. The final step is where your part comes into play, that is user interaction. Now, since all this data has been organized, users can interact with them through a clean and responsive interface. You can sort and filter out your data, you can view your spending trends, and you can even generate reports just through a few clicks, right? So now I'll introduce our project co-lead, that is Satul, who's going to talk about the tech stack in this project.
So you might think that why you're using Legendary for an individual or a small scale businessman who want to track their monthly expense, Legendary is a good option for them. Since we are hosting it on a cloud platform, it gives more scalability, reliability, and security. And of course, we can use access it at any point of time at anywhere. Now let's see the testing behind the Legendary. First is cloud platform. For this, we are using AWS Cloud Platform for all its cloud services. For storing, we are using Amazon S3, which also stands for Simple Storage Service. It's like storing a file in a locker, and from there you can extract it at any point of time, and it's highly secure. For data processing, we are using AWS Lambda. It's like writing your code in Lambda, and whenever event occurs, like clicking a button or uploading a file, code behind the Lambda triggers. After this, database comes. We are using AWS RDS PostgreSQL for storing of data, sequential data in the database. After this, like इतना कुछ कर रहे हैं तो हम लोग को मॉनिटरिंग का भी देखना होगा, लाइक सर्वर कैसा अप या डाउन हो रहा है, तो उसके लिए हम लोग मॉनिटरिंग टूल्स भी यूज कर रहे हैं, जो है Prometheus and Grafana. Prometheus collects the matrices and logs from the server side, and Grafana helps to visually represent all those logs. And so we can conclude that Legendary is the easier and smarter way of stress checking, and that eliminates the human error and manual labor.
And right, so if you have any questions, you may ask us right now. The floor is open to questions. So basically, Prometheus is it is a monitoring and alerting system that scrapes data from different applications, right? So once all those metrics have been taken, we feed it into Grafana. Prometheus acts as a data source for Grafana. So Grafana takes all those metrics and visually represents it in like beautiful dashboards and panels. Right? So this is the Grafana the panels. You can see every metric has been very beautifully represented. Yeah, it's not like the Grafana is just being used for like representing the data in a visual format. The AI part is like the Gemini, the Gemini AI classifier that is being used for extracting the text from the images of the results. That is the API that we're using for extracting the images. Right? Any further questions?
Going to Flash experimental.
This is like we are using it right now. This is like a very beginner cloud domain project, right? So we are keeping it simple for beginners, so they can like understand it very easily. Any more questions?
Can I know the reason why are we using AWS, not Azure?
Because AWS is a very beginner-friendly interface, right? Azure is thoda sa complicated. AWS makes it easier for users to get started. Right? Any more questions? All right. So we close the floor for questions right now.
Hello everyone.
Hello everyone.
कितने लोग बोर हो रहे हैं? सब बोर हो रहे हो क्या?
से प्रोजेक्ट सोच के थक नहीं गए सब?
पक्का बताओ, टेक में मजा आ रहा है? अच्छा,
से इंटरेस्ट आ रहा है MLSA में अब?
कितने हो गए डोमेन? 6-7 कितने?
बचे कौन से हैं? क्या क्या क्रिएटिविटी के अंदर में?
अरे कौन बोल रहा है? मुझे भी नहीं पता।
वो वाला।
थोड़ा जोर से बोलो भाई। अरे रुक जाओ। Public relations, marketing, content. Public relations, marketing, content, UI UX all of them. Anyways, really good answer भाई। कम से कम attentive तो है। बाकी सो रहे हो क्या?
अभी उठ जाएंगे सब, अभी स्टार्ट करते हैं।
तो बेसिकली तुम लोग ज्यादा बोर ना हो, इसके लिए हम लोग एक गेम खेलेंगे, टर्मिनल फ्यूड। फ्यूड पता है किसी को? फैमिली फ्यूड देखा है?
सी वाली का किसी ने नहीं देखा है यहाँ पे?
अरे क्रेजी भाई। खैर एनीवेज, इंस्ट्रक्शंस प्रेशा बताएगी।
So basically इधर स्क्रीन पे क्वेश्चन फ्लैश करेंगे एंड उसके 4 ऑप्शंस रहेंगे। आप सबको एक ऑप्शन गेस करना है। अगर आप सही ऑप्शन गेस करते हैं जो उन 4 में से एक है, so then you get something.
एंड याद रखना कि अगर तुम लोग जोर जोर से चीख चीख के आंसर बताओगे भाई, मैं तो नहीं सुनने वाला। हाथ रेज करो, आऊंगा, माइक दूंगा, तुम लोग खुद बोलना है।
MLSA में आने वालों, we only take your people, so raise your hands, do not shout.
हाँ चलो, इतना फैंसी वर्ड सुनने के बाद पहला क्वेश्चन, व्हाट्स अ फ्यूचरिस्टिक इन्वेंशन पीपल ड्रीम अबाउट?
Flying cars.
The very first answer भाई।
Give it up.
और बाकी बताओ भाई, किसने यहाँ पे हैंड रेस किया था शायद?
पीछे में किसी ने किया था वहाँ पे? Teleportation.
अगेन भाई लाइन से आंसर आ रहे हैं।
Let's go.
यहाँ पे सबसे पहले किसने हाथ उठाया था?
टाइम ट्रैवलिंग मशीन। टाइम ट्रैवल मशीन।
भाई सब तो सही आंसर थी यार, हम तो सोचे थे नहीं आएंगे।
भाई हम गेस करके चल रहे थे, मिलेंगे नहीं हमें।
आखिरी है, ऐसे थोड़ा वाइड सोचो, सोचो सोचो।
माइंड टेलीपैथी डिवाइसेस।
आंसर काफी अच्छा है बट अनफॉर्चुनेटली आ नहीं पाया, थोड़ा और वाइड सोचो।
Digital consciousness.
ना,
नहीं।
Cloning technology.
उस आंसर के लिए थोड़ा वेट करो, यू विल गेट दैट आंसर।
Android humanoid robot. Sorry. Android humanoid robot.
Kind of.
close. कीवर्ड दे दिया उसने.
HQO. Genius Blueprint. Anyways, कीवर्ड दे दिया तो हम लोग आंसर रिवील कर देते हैं.
Okay.
ओह, नहीं देखो. पढ़ेगा ना सबने?
Moving forward with the next question. आपका अगला सवाल स्क्रीन पे.
7 करोड़ रुपए के तो नहीं है, कूपन के लिए है भाई.
कूपन के लिए है.
और इतने डेट क्यों? मजा नहीं आ रहा है क्या? Come on guys, इतना करोड़ डेट क्यों भाई? Patient learning. सब बस ही कैसे कर रहे हो भाई?
Machine intelligence.
ऐसा सीक्वेंस से आंसर आ रहे हैं तो
Machine device.
Machine tools.
machine
tools.
नोट्स दोनों ही आंसर है. ये
Machine unlearning.
इंटरेस्टिंग है बट ये भी नहीं है लिस्ट में. सॉरी भाई, 2 ऑप्शंस बचे. कम ऑन, हैंड रेज करो यार. ऐसे मेरे से रिक्रूट हो गए.
Facing automation.
यस, फोर्थ वन. अश्मिता,
Decision coach. Machine healers.
नो नो. कम ऑन, एक ही बचा है. तुम लोग आखिरी बेटा क्यों जाते हो यार?
हिंट दे क्या?
दे दो.
नजरिए की बात है.
जो तुम्हारा काफी खराब है.
असस.
Machine vision.
Got it. He got it. He got it.
He wanted to.
ठीक है, MLSA भाई दोनों को प्राइस मिलेगा. Moving on, next question भाई. What's the most common mistake people make while coding?
What the first answer?
एक सेकंड. सब लोग दोबारा साथ में बोलेंगे जोर से. ये जोर है क्या?
What say?
ये जोर है क्या? That's it भाई. Next question. Sorry, next option.
Error.
Data types mistake.
दोनों नहीं. क्लोज हो थोड़ा और.
Close.
मैंने बोला भाई शाउट मत करो. I'll come to you.
Syntax error.
No.
Logical error.
अरे सॉरी भाई, मैं पीछे नहीं आ पा.
Tutorial help.
फंक्शन डिफाइन करना भूलना.
भाई फंक्शन डिफाइन करना भूल गए. फंक्शन ही डिफाइन करना भूल गए.
Relating the HQC.
और अभी क्या? He got one. Infinite loops.
ओ भाई. Wait, Prisha, wait. One by one.
Braces close कर.
But no answer, guys. Braces close बनना. Prisha, wait.
Case sensitive.
नहीं, not actually.
Typing error.
I was
Close.
ठीक है, दे. It's fine. Typing error क्या होगा? चलो, next question. डेटा के बाद कौन सा शब्द तुम लोग सोचते हो?
Type.
भाई इतने लोग, सबको आंसर पता है क्या?
We got one. We got.
मगर इतने लोग तो भाई चलो एटलीस्ट तुम लोग अटेंटिव तो हो रहे हो.
Data analysis.
Data science.
डेटा साइंस.
Database.
अच्छा आंसर है बट लिस्ट में नहीं है. सर
Data visualization.
अब भाई इतने लोग आंसर दोगे तो सीक्वेंस तो मेंटेन नहीं हो पाएगा. रैंडमली चूज कर लेता हूं. नो. थोड़ा और डेटा स्ट्रक्चर. नो, नॉट डेटा स्ट्रक्चर.
Database. Data mining.
अरे वेट एक हिंट देता हूँ इससे पहले कौन सा डोमेन हुआ था? जोर से बोलो और जोर से। F3 बकेट किस लिए यूज होती है? तो आंसर क्या होगा भाई? ये खुद ही रिवील करोगे आंसर? किसी को नहीं आता क्या? डेटा मैनेजमेंट। फर्स्ट वन वाज डेटा बैकअप, ठीक है। S3 बकेट किस लिए यूज होता है? स्टोरेज। याद रखो। क्लाउड में कौन इंटरेस्टेड है? मेरी ही बेसिक
और डालो क्लाउड के क्वेश्चंस डोमेन स्पेसिफिक।
मेरी ही बेसिक देख लूंगा तुम लोग इंटरव्यू में। हाँ यार सही बात। एक बचा है भाई, तुम लोग फिर आखिर में टक गए। नो। डेटा ब्रीच। पूरा वर्ड गेस किया इसमें। नेक्स्ट क्वेश्चन प्लीज।
If AI ran the world, what's the first word might pass?
Turing test. No. भाई इतना बार तो हम भी नहीं सोचते। ह्यूमन एक्सटिंक्शन। अरे लॉ पास करना है भाई, एग्जीक्यूशन नहीं। एग्जीक्यूट बाद में हो जाएगा, लॉ पास करना है। इक्वल राइट्स। इतना ऑप्टिमिस्टिक।
मुझे लगता है वो देंगे।
प्रोबेबली अगर पीछे
सारे डोरेमोन नहीं होते।
No term questions.
Less humans and more robots in workplace.
Data privacy and security.
एक्चुअली कीवर्ड है, उसने दे दिया। एक बार
इधर कोई हाथ ट्रेस कर रहा था?
Not any punishment for making the wrong hands.
भाई कोई नहीं गेस कर पा रहा। एआई में तो हो चुका है ना, एआई में तो हो गया ना। अरे हुआ है कि नहीं? डोमेन तुम लोगों को पता है ना कि डोमेन की प्रोजेक्ट बता दिया गया है, उससे कुछ सोचो। कम ऑन। फ्री इंटरनेट। हाँ भाई फ्री इंटरनेट। और कोई केसेस? अलाउइंग डीप फेक्स। अलाउइंग डीप फेक्स। भाई मेरी फोटो तो नहीं खींची ना?
सब MLSA से डिविएट हो रहा है थोड़ा सा।
भाई
MLSA
लीगलाइजिंग कॉपीराइट वायलेशन। नोट्स यूजिंग ह्यूमन एफिशिएंसी। नोट्स सोचो बात करते क्या क्वेश्चन नहीं दे पा रहे। ऑटोमेशन।
आई गेस पास करना बेटर है।
अरे रुक जाओ भाई, तो
Ban on plagiarism.
वेट करो आंसर आएगा। आंसर तुमसे खुद आएगा भाई। अच्छा चलो हिंट दे देता हूँ।
Blockchain.
अच्छा हिंट देते हैं। सेल्फ ड्राइविंग कार्स। इससे थोड़ा सोचो, क्या बैन करने की बात होगी, प्रमोट करने की बात होगी? सोचो।
My answer is pretty inspired by the cartoon Doraemon. The answer is making laws that enhance, promote mental health of robots.
अच्छा आंसर है, भाई तो हिंट भी दे दी।
Removing hierarchy.
No. भाई पास कर दे रहे हैं यार, बहुत। Have good ecosystem with humans and AI. Have good ecosystem with humans and AI. No.
Automation in driving.
हाँ ऑटोमेशन एंड ड्राइविंग। भाई तुम लोग को अभी तो बोला था।
Subsidizing automation.
चलो अब रिवील कर दे रहे हैं यार।
एक सेकंड, एक और हिंट देने दो।
कितने हिंट्स दोगी?
गुड भाई, इट्स गुड, वेट। अगर उनको हमें कंट्रोल में रखना है, so what do you think they should do? Something more.
ब्रेन वॉशिंग काइंड ऑफ, बट ब्रेन वॉशिंग कैसे करेंगे ना, किस चीज के ऊपर? रिड्यूसिंग ह्यूमन राइट्स। और थोड़ा और रिफाइन करो।
Close, they take away a freedom, right? Guess करो।
Simply. Oops.
Banning computer use for humans. Ban on schools and colleges.
No.
Removing humans from government.
No. वो तो AI रूल लिखा है तो यहाँ पे था।
Reducing socialization or human sustainability.
Getting to control what the humans see on media or websites.
He gave the keyword. He gave the. So answer में repeat कर देता हूँ. The answer will be mandatory data sharing. Next. 4. सोचो. अच्छा सबको कैमरास दिख रहे हैं क्या यहाँ पे? ऑडिटोरियम में कैमरास है?
क्यों है?
किस लिए है कैमरास?
Continuously monitoring.
सबको आंसर मिल गया ना? पता चल गया? भाई तो जोर से बोले एक बार फिर से साथ में. Supervision. I say surveillance.
Surveillance.
Yes. Next question, please.
Got the first one. Okay.
Cafe.
Cyber network. Cyber technology. Cyber attack, cyber warfare.
Cyber crime आंसर देखा है.
Cyber attack.
2 आंसर एक साथ आ गए भाई.
Cyber physical systems.
No. Cyber ethics.
Cyber bullying.
Cyber bullying. Cyber bullying अच्छा.
Cyber war.
Cyber war. I know. थोड़ा और सोचो. कुछ यहाँ पे cyber space.
Cyber police.
No. Okay. One last chance. केवल एक से और पूछेंगे, ठीक है?
Cyber drugs.
Cyber drugs. Seriously. भाई नहीं अच्छा था. एक और last chance.
Cyber cell.
दोनों ही हैं. Let's reveal it. Okay. Cyber defense. Cyber war किसने बोला था? Next question.
What's the weirdest thing you could 3D print in the future? Please MLSA. तो सोच के.
भाई वो सब मीट्स बाद में जो लोग सोच रहे हो. अभी थोड़ा आराम से. सर्वेलेंस हो रहा है पता है ना?
Doors, human mannequins.
Building. Okay, building keyword is
3D mask.
okay. एक आंसर आ सकता है.
Human weapons. Like
Human organs. एक और आंसर.
4D objects.
3D prints and 4D objects. Guys, तुम लोग अटेंटिव नहीं हो क्या भाई? क्वेश्चन तो पढ़ो एक बार. 3D prints and 4D objects.
They think out of the box.
Nice.
Food items.
Food.
Vehicles.
No.
कोई वेपन नहीं बना रहे आप.
भाई पीछे इतना शांत क्यों है?
Space technology.
It's from DNA. Cyber fashion.
It's from DNA. Again, that's an answer.
Go guys, I'll go weapons, guys.
I, कितना crazy crowd है. एक बचा.
Pets?
Pets also है.
Pets, okay.
Clones. Artificial natural structures. Artificial natural structures will all weeks about.
Unfortunately, answer नहीं है.
Yeah.
Clones हो गए, सारे हो गए. मजा आ रहा है ना? अरे भाई मुझे तो बोलने दो. वेब सुन के क्या आता है? एक है. सबका आंसर सेम ही. ठीक है. तो एक बार जोर से बोलो भाई, साथ में.
भाई वो ग्रिल कर देंगे रिक्रूटमेंट के टाइम पे. जोर से. जोर से.
और जोर से. Web developer. चलो next. और server.
Here we got another one. Server.
Web page. Nope. भाई अगर तुम लोग यही जल्दी जल्दी नहीं कर पाए ना. Scrapper. Nope.
Technologies.
Web scraping. Web design. Web design. एक और आंसर. यहाँ पे पेशा. एक बचा है.
Web applications and security.
Web analysis, web hostings, web browser.
Web browser. पेशा आंसर मिल गया. Sorry. Web browser.